Hey guys, this is DrkBLADExx, the Dark Enforcers, aka Black Hawk, the visual leader for DCUO. What is good?
Damn,
I'm with the crew today, guys.
Wow. Okay.
Not part of my league, but they are part of my DCUO family.
I'll be right back.
My allies, so that's a good thing. Alright, so I'm chilling with the crew today. We're tackling the feat known as Final Destination. This feat is actually one of the, I want to kind of say, well thought out as by easily obtainable. One of the most easily obtainable feats there is in this episode. Also, probably in the game. One of, not the easiest, but one of. For this feat, you and your group, yes, you and your group must live and not die through each and every stage of this raid. 5 stages in totals. I'll explain how to get the feat in a minute, but let's go over the stages. What you see us right now is we're at the very first stage. The first stage is known as First Wave of Shades, where you fight Shades. The second stage is known as Ares, where you fight Ares, the god of war. The third stage is known as Second Wave of Shades, where you fight the Shades that have totem poles pop up because they have totem masters there. You have to fight them. The fourth stage is known as Judges of the Underworld, where you have to fight 3 judges. And the fifth and last stage is known as Hades, where you fight Hades, god of the Underworld.
I got you back.
You and your group must live through all 5 stages. The best part about this is, even if you fail one stage, keep going and see if you can beat the other stages, because these are checkpoints. This isn't death proof where you must absolutely live through every single stage. You're allowed to fail stages here. You can fail stages here, and as long as you get a checkpoint, that's one stage. You don't have to worry about trying to complete it anymore. You just gotta complete the others. For instance, if my group here dies at every single stage except for we get to Hades, and everyone lives, that checkpoint is now saved, and I never have to worry about trying to live through Hades again, no matter what group I'm with. Like, let's say everybody decides they're tired for the day, they log off, but I want to keep going. I can queue back up, join a group, and I don't have to worry about Hades anymore because I've already got that checkpoint. That means that group now only has to live through the other stages, so it doesn't matter who you group up with. Keep the same group or join different groups, it doesn't matter. Once you get a checkpoint, it stays with you. The same for your group teammates. Once they get a checkpoint, it stays with them. And that's why this feat is pretty much really, I want to say either really thought out or really obtainable. Since I see myself doing this now, I'll talk about this right now. We are at a point in the game where you do not need to have a tank for this raid at all. Unless you're doing elite, then yeah, you need tanks. But we're at a point where any DPS that's 150 and up can one-shot the Essence. So there is not even a need for a tank at Ares, there's no need for a tank at Essence. However, if you're going at this at tier level or at just walk-in level, you need to have your roles, you need to have tanks. For the love of God, if you're going to take Essence, use a taunt, not a pull. Now, a pull will work. A taunt is way better. Now, you see me not using a taunt. I know what I'm doing, but like, let's just say a taunt is guaranteed, and the pull is hope to God no one else is using a pull. What I mean is, a taunt cannot be overridden by anybody. Not anybody. If there's another tank, he can't try to pull your guy, it won't work. If there's a troll, he can't try to pull your guy, it won't work. If there's a healer, he can't try to pull your guy, it won't work. That's right, every single role can pull. Now, let's be realistic. Unless it's an open world solo, or a solo someone can walk into with a friend, or a duo, that healer is not going to have enough aggro, or well, healer's not going to have enough dominance to actually be able to pull. So you really have to only worry about other tanks and trolls, but that's beside the point. What I'm saying is, with a taunt, no one can override your pull, your aggro. No one can override it. That's what a taunt is. When you use a regular pull, that means that if anybody else has a pull, tank or troll, pull is going to pull. So even though you pulled somebody, they're just going to pull it back. don't ever... it's just not a good idea here to use pools. It's really just not. Don't do that to yourself. Unless you really know what the heck you're doing and the group knows what they're doing, don't risk it. Like I'm with the crew right now, so we're good. But if you're like just plugging away, or you got like that one new person that you're not really sure of, because it only takes is one person to mess up. Don't use a pool. Use a taunt. If you're tanking by now, you got this far in tanking, you should know what a taunt and a pool is and the difference between the two. For instance, with Earth. Earth and Grip is a pool, not a taunt. Stone is a taunt.
Iceman, what?
Mesmerizing Lasso is a taunt. Fireball is a taunt. Now I'm just going down the line. Inescapable Storm, not a taunt, that is a pull. Ragebringer, that is a pull, not a taunt. I'm going to stop there, but you guys know what I'm saying. I just want to go over that because I see a lot of people doing that, and then the raid just takes longer and longer unless you have like a high level DPS, because we're at the point now where you can have 160 DPSs now, so well, even higher than that actually, but you know what I mean. Anyway, let me get off that subject. We are now at the third stage, the second wave of shades. When you're fighting this stage, there's a couple things you have to look out for. Those totem poles, you have to get rid of those. And when you're fighting them, use your weapon attacks. Power attacks do not work on totem poles. They work on ads, but they don't do any damage to totem poles. That's why when you're attacking it, you don't see any numbers pop up, because it's not taking any damage. Alright, now here is the judges part. Now, you see all that purple stuff on the ground? That's damage to your group, and it sticks to you. Well, to the ground. See that little right there? That little pulse, the purple pulse? That was damage. The only way to get rid of that damage is to move out of it, or to kill the judge fast enough. Now here's the little key. It's not stuck to you, it's stuck to the ground under you, so you can actually walk out of it, and you'll be okay. I don't see a lot of people doing that, and then they die, and I don't understand why they didn't try to roll out of it. Don't just sit there and block, move away from it. Just a few tips that to keep you in here and surviving. Because trust me, you're going to need these tips when you go for Death Proof. You see, Final Destination and Death Proof are pretty much the same exact thing, except for Death Proof has no stages. You have to do it all in one sitting. And you have to do it on Elite. So that's the difference between the two. For Final Destination, you can go in there with anybody at any time, and if you don't complete a certain part of it, you can just go back to that any time with anyone and complete it. Knowing that you've already completed the other parts, if you get what I'm saying.
Why didn't I get it?
Alright, now as you guys saw, those judges that you defeat, when you defeat a judge, they get a yellow aura around them. Do not let them touch you, they will stun you and you'll start walking around doing stuff that you can't control. You're gonna have to break out of it, of course, but still. Since we defeated 2 judges, there are now 2 of them walking around, so avoid them unless you want to be controlled. So keep that in mind. Alright. Now that said, for this part, all you have to do once again is live. You don't have to really deal with any like purple stuff on the ground, but you have to deal with Hades. When you see the skull, you'll see him have like a white shield around him. Do not attack that white shield, it's instant death. Let me put it this way. At like walk-in CR, your health is like, what? Good 10,000, right? And if you're a DPS, you're probably attacking for like maybe 10,000 to 25,000. Maybe you're doing even more damage than that at the DPS at that level. That shield is reflection. It reflects the damage back at you. So if you're hitting him for 25,000 and your health's only 10,000, it's a one shot to you. That's right, one shot. Don't do it. On top of that, it amplifies the damage. So instead of just getting that 25 back, it's more like getting hit with 50k. And no one's health's 50k. Now if you're a healer, your damage is not that high, but like I said, it's being amplified. Instead of doing that, you know, 10k damage, you're probably doing that 5k damage. But it's being amplified, so that 5k is more like 15. And your health is probably only 10k, if even that. You're still gonna drop. Don't do it. Okay, eventually, because I'm running out of time, eventually, you're going to get teleported. Now, the thing about teleportation is, yeah, there it goes right there. The thing about teleportation is, 4 people get teleported at a time, and if you're the only one of your kind, you're almost always going to get teleported. What I mean is, let's say you have 1 tank, 1 troll, 1 healer, everybody else is DPSs. Every time someone's get teleported, you might as well expect that to beat you. Now here's the key to teleportation. If you're a DPS, just defeat the enemy in front of you as fast as possible, and a portal will show up right there. Don't move from the area you're at, just stay right there. Portal will show up, walk in it, you're back inside. If you're a side roll that can't do too much damage, I suggest you just leave your area, walk around like you saw my character just do, and find a portal to go into. If you get to a side where the DPS is, you can help him fight that one ad real quick, kill it, and then go into the portal, or the portal will probably already be there for you like it was for me. Just walk inside and get back up here as quick as possible, which is some pretty choice advice you're going to need if you try to ever do Death Proof. Once again, remember, if you see that skull or you see the white circle around him, do not attack. And there, we cleared the 5th stage, which is the only thing I was missing. And there is Final Destination.
Sorry about my burn, guys. I'm just a little tired today.
I appreciate your help, Diana.
You're despicable, Ares.
Little
You would do anything for power.
I'm sorry.
Once again, I want to reiterate that this is not Death Proof. This is not Let's Get Dangerous, where you have to survive all the way through in one sitting and can't die. This is a feat where no one can die, but even if they die, at least you can still continue on to the other stages and try for those. Okay, so I just want to keep that in mind. Death Proof, same idea. No one can die throughout the whole thing from start to beginning. With Final Destination, there are 5 stages. Try to live through them all. If you mess up on one, just re-queue and try to go for that stage again. And that's the only stage that you have to worry about, the ones that you missed. Okay, so once again, I want to thank the crew for doing this video for me. You guys are the best. Okay, guys, see you guys later. This is DrkBLADExx, the Dark Enforcers, aka Black Hawk, Division Leader for DCUO. Dark Enforcers, Darkness Rises.